All right, today we're going to read about kinetic energy. So kinetic energy, two basic kinds of energy are kinetic and potential energy. Whether energy is kinetic or potential depends on whether an object is moving or not. A moving object, such as wind, can do work when it strikes another object and moves it some distance. Because the moving object does work, it has energy. The energy an object has due to its motion is called kinetic energy. The word kinetic comes from the Greek word kinetos, which means moving. Factors affecting kinetic energy. The kinetic energy of an object depends on both its mass and its velocity. Kinetic energy increases as mass increases. For example, think about rolling a bowling ball and a golf ball down a lane at the same velocity, as shown in Figure 2. The bowling ball has more mass than the golf ball. If both balls have the same velocity, the bowling ball is more likely to knock down the pins because it has more kinetic energy than the golf ball. Kinetic energy also increases when velocity increases. For example, suppose you have two identical bowling balls and you roll one ball so it moves at a greater velocity than the other. You must throw the ball harder to give it the greater velocity. In other words, you transfer more energy to it. Therefore, the faster ball has more kinetic energy. And you can go ahead and take a look at the photo here. We have the bowling ball versus the golf ball example, and then we have the two bowling ball examples. Calculating kinetic energy. There is a mathematical relationship between kinetic energy, mass, and velocity. So you can see the equation here is kinetic energy equals half times mass times velocity squared. So do changes in velocity and mass have the same effect on kinetic energy? No. Changing the velocity of an object has a greater effect on its kinetic energy than changing mass by the same factor. This is because velocity is squared in the kinetic energy equation. For instance, doubling the mass of an object will double its kinetic energy, but doubling its velocity will quadruple its kinetic energy.